Yo, what is up guys? Welcome back to another FM mobile video. Today we are simulating the 2026-27 football season, Premier League season. And basically what I've done is I've updated all the teams and updated all the managers to have all the managers that manage each team. So let's say for example Chelsea, we're going to go to Chelsea. Cucurella is still at the club, but he is moving to Real Madrid, so I will go ahead and change that. But we have Xabi Alonso as the manager, as you can see here. Man United, it is still Michael Carrick. We could go to Liverpool, right? Liverpool, Iraola, right? Iraola is at the club. So before I do get started, by showing you guys the rest of the teams, make sure to like, subscribe to the channel. We are doing pretty good in the channel wise, so thank you guys so much for watching the videos and all that stuff. But even Man City, we're gonna go into Man City and check out Man City real quick. They have Enzo Maresca right there, as you can see. Who else is in the new system? Spurs, of course. With De Zerbi, they have Roberto De Zerbi as their manager right here. And Bournemouth is actually really cool in my opinion. We have Marco Rose. You guys know a lot of hype around Marco Rose here. And there's one of my favorite ones as well. And Bournemouth actually got relegated, or Fulham, not Bournemouth, sorry, Fulham. As you can see here, Fulham, Alvaro Arbeloa, the Real Madrid coach that has now been offered to Fulham as the manager, which is actually really cool in my opinion. And the rest of the teams, I'm pretty sure those are most of the big changes. Those are most of the big changes in the Premier League. Obviously, Aston Villa still has Unai Emery, for example. But basically what I'm going to do is I'm just going to simulate through each month and see what happens, who wins their games, and how it goes. So let's go ahead and just, for example, this is how I'm going to check the games. They've already lost the Community Shield. Chelsea have already lost the Community Shield to Liverpool, actually. So that's certainly not one of the best things you can do. But yeah, so let's just get started. I'm going to simulate to the first month and the end of August, and then we'll see how the teams are doing in the Premier League. So it is now the end of August, basically it's the 9th of September, but as you can see we already have some stats. So Rodri won the Player of the Month, and then Jeremy Jacquet won the Young Player of the Month for August. So we can see some of the more awards here. Coming up Player of the Year, we can see, I think it's back here actually, oh sorry, it's in the 2026-27 awards. We can see the Manager of the Month, which was Daniel Fark. Daniel Fark, the Leeds manager, they're first in the league, as you can see, as it says up there. Team of the week, let's check out the team of the week right here. It looks like Ritz, Saka, Justin Van de Ven, Donnarumma, Wolves player, Bournemouth player. This is kind of the team. So that is the team of the week. Let's see how Florian Ritz did here. Where is Florian? There he is. So he was in the team of the week for a reason. So let's see how he did. 5 assists, and 1 goal in 8 games. That is pretty good. Oh geez, that last season is crazy. But anyways, Saka, we'll see how Saka did as well. He's also in the team of the week. Some of the notable players, I'm just gonna go through. 3 goals and 4 assists in 6 games. That's actually really good. But other than that, I'm interested in this Chelsea player actually. This 31-year-old Italian player that plays for Chelsea. Five games, 2 goals. That's not too bad here. But let's see who's the young player of the month. Obviously, Jermaine Jacquet, and then player of the month Rodri. So yeah, let's see what is going on in the Premier League table. So Leeds are currently at the top of the table with 12 points, which is kind of a surprise. Let's see who they actually played. It looks like they did play a bunch of games in the Prem. So they did play Brighton, 1-4-1. Bournemouth, can we see who scored here? I don't think we can. We can't. But they went 4-1, beat Bournemouth 4-1 as well, and they did lose to Newcastle, but they also played some Carabao Cup games and did well as well. So yeah, most of their Prem games actually worked out pretty well. Spurs and the rest of the table are basically tied on points. Spurs in second, which is a big turnaround from last season. We can see they beat Man United, they beat Bournemouth, they beat Brighton, and then they did lose to West Ham in the Carabao Cup, but they beat them basically a few days later in the Premier League. So their Premier League season has been pretty decent. Same with Liverpool and Arsenal. Arsenal are obviously the winners. Here's kind of what their team's looking like. They did sign Morgan Rogers, which is pretty interesting because that's actually happening in real life apparently, if you guys are aware. But they beat Everton, they lost to Liverpool, which seems to happen every time Arsenal plays Liverpool, or Liverpool are a pretty good team in games. So they drew Chelsea. Let's see who's at the bottom of the table now. Man City sitting at 8th, which is no surprise because they did lose Pep Guardiola. But oh god, Man United all the way at the bottom, and it even lets me declare interest. So that's definitely concerning. Rashford Fernandez, Hoyland up top. Hoyland is still there. Interesting. They did just get smashed in the league. They actually had a really tough fixture at the start, so I kind of understand. But Michael Carrick is still the coach here. So yeah, so that's kind of what the table is looking like. Fulham actually not doing too bad. Alvaro Arbeloa, sorry, I don't know how to pronounce that, but they're also doing pretty decent. We do have the kids here, which is pretty cool. But yeah, so it looks like these are the signings they did. They have a pretty cool team. They did sign Loftus-Cheek as well. Smith Rowe, this guy's a striker. Finish, which is pretty sick in my opinion. But yeah, so that is kind of this August. That's what it's looking like in August. Let's see what it looks like at the end of September now. It looks like Florian Wirtz is having an amazing season. He won the Premier League Player of the Month for September, and then he also won the Premier League Young Player of the Month for September as well. So that's kind of crazy. He has 5 goals and 1 assist though, so actually not bad. Areola did win the Premier League Manager of September. You can see more stats in the system. So yeah, September Areola, Daniel Farke last month. Player of the Month, obviously Florian Wirtz. Same with the young player. Go to Team of the Week here. This is your Team of the Week. I don't know why O'Reilly is at the striker. That is kind of interesting, but yeah, so Szoboszlai is still in there. Ezri Konsa, some of the Bournemouth players as well with a 9. These are all at least 9 average rating, which is pretty good. Alexander Isak as well here. Let's see his stats because that is pretty important. So two looks like he just got a goal and assist, and that somehow got him Player of the Month in September, which is interesting. But yeah, so looks like no Arsenal players here. Looks like no Spurs players here or anything like that, or Man United. Wonder how Man United is doing. Let's go check out how they're doing. This is what the table looks like. Looks like Spurs are first, Liverpool are second, but just based off goal difference, they mostly have the same points here. So once we get into the actual part of the season where it's difficult, that's when it gets serious. So Man United looks like they clutched up, and then Fulham are kind of in a dangerous spot right now. Same with Everton, Bournemouth, Nottingham Forest, all these teams down here, but they're mostly around the same spot. This is looking like a good Premier League season, though. There's a lot of good managers in here. So Arsenal, fourth, the current holders of the championship. Let's see how they did. Brentford, they beat Ajax. Looks like their Champions League run is going good. There haven't been too many games, but Spurs are actually doing really decent. They are top of the league. 2-0 Nottingham Forest. They drew Newcastle. They beat West Ham. Beat Man United during that hard run. Let's see how Man United brought it back. Their manager's still a little shaky here, but they did win the Premier League and they are winning some Europa League games. I know they're in the Champions League, but the last season's game kind of messed it up. I don't know why, but this is just a Premier League season. We're not looking at the Champions League or Europa League. So yeah, they're 8th in the league, so that's pretty decent, I'd say. Let's see how it's going on next month as well. So it's now November. It looks like Harwood Bellis has won the Player of the Month, and then Fer Lopez has won the Young Player of the Month, and then Arteta did win Manager of the Month, and then this guy won the League One Player of the Month, but it doesn't matter. We're just going to go see the awards here. I'm going to go check who is the top goal scorer in a second here. So yeah, the transfer deadline's obviously passed. These are kind of the Premier League stats, which is pretty cool. I didn't know you could really do this. But Arsenal are first in the league, Man City are second, and Man United are 11, Chelsea are also 11. Table's looking a little bit different now. Liverpool did significantly drop, but we'll check the points. So top goal scorer is going to be Nick Woltemade. Saka is third. Simias, I don't know how to say that one, but this is their top goal scorer. So Sesko is down there. But yeah, so it looks like Gyökeres with 2 goals. Oh god. Let's see the assist. Oh, you can't see assists. Interesting. Whatever, that's fine. Arsenal, 28 points. It looks like they're getting a little bit comfortable because they did play only 11 games and they have the most wins. So that is a little bit concerning for the rest of the teams in the league. But looks like Chelsea have dropped down a little bit, and Bournemouth are doing really bad. Looks like Marco Rose can't get this team together, but they're on 9 points. So we'll see only 2 wins and 6 losses. Jeez. But yeah, we're gonna do December, and then we'll look at the January window, and then after that we're just going to go to the end of the season because this would be a very long video if I were to go through, but I will go through all the players, player of the months and all that stuff when we get there. So let's just do the end of December and the January window and see what happens. So it's now December and the winter window has opened. So it looks like Van Dijk is the player of the month for November, and then Omega is the young player of the month for November as well. And then Iraola wins it again. So this two-time award. So yeah, let's just see the team. This team of the week here. Team of the week. We have Gyökeres up there finally. James Madison, Semenyo as well. This his sleeper pick. Van Dijk kind of having a turnaround season with a 10 out of 10 performance. Wow, that's crazy. Semenyo as well, 10 out of 10. So we should be able to see the transfers here once it opens. As it should say opens in or whatever. So yeah. Let's just see the top goal scorer or whatever going on. Looks like Liverpool are top of the league right now, but we'll see the table. Still, Smias with the top goals. Nick Woltemat up there as well. Mo Salah getting up there. Cole Palmer. Bruno with 6 goals again. How many assists does Bruno have? I'm kind of curious to see how many assists he has in game right now. So he has 7 assists. He's typically the most assists in these FM mobile saves, but it is pretty good. It looks like Arsenal on 32 points, but Liverpool are at 31, so they kind of brought it back. Man City third with 27. Leeds are doing pretty good. Like, it's actually really impressive how good they're doing without getting crazy. A lot of players without being in the team of the week and stuff. But Chelsea 5th. I'm a little scared of where Man United are 14th. Okay, that's not the worst. Looks like Bournemouth are still fighting relegation pretty badly. Marco Rose definitely not doing the best. Let's see kind of what Arsenal's stats are. It looks like they did just lose to Man City and they are top of the Champions League. But yeah, so pretty good. They low-key won a lot of games and they've only lost a few, so kind of makes sense why they're at the top of the table. But let's just see who signed who in January, and then we'll kind of go through to the end of the season in May and see how that does. So it looks like Man United's Collier has won the Player of the Month for December. So we could see kind of who won. Oh, last month it was Van Dijk, obviously. He also won the Young Player of the Month, which is also pretty impressive. Fer Lopez did end up winning 2 months ago. I don't know why I clicked on that, but Arteta wins it again. I think that's not back to back, but he also is also this 2-time winner of that. And let's see who the team of the week is. Collier obviously plays for Everton. He is going to be in team of the week as well. But Rashford is on the team of the week. Wow, so is Doku. We don't see any Leeds players here. Oh, actually we do. Sorry, we do. Whoa, what's going on? Looks like Arsenal, or we'll just go with it. Arsenal are top of the league. Liverpool are second with 46 points. They did drop down a little bit. Arsenal obviously have 2 more wins than them. But so it looks like Arsenal are on track to win the league right now. So let's see who's kind of winning in the top goal scorer. We'll see who is so the January window is open. I don't know why I said the winter window was open a second ago. Don't know what was going on with that. But let's just see who is the top goal scorer. Yeah, obviously Arsenal up there. So Saka is now the top goal scorer. Wow. And Salah is also up there. Before, it was the guy that played for Brighton with 11 and Bruno with a lot of goals as well. So how many assists does Saka have? Kind of interested in seeing how many assists he has. Let's check it out. I think I skipped over it. I did. Did I skip over it? I didn't even click on Saka here. Yeah, so 6 assists, 16 goals. That is pretty good. He has been in a lot of these team of the week, so we are kind of interested in see how many goals and assists he has. But let's just see what happens in the January window now, and then we'll kind of go to the end of the season and see who ends up winning the league. So it finally happened. Michael Carrick did get sacked from Man United. Should we be surprised because they sack their manager every other month? But it looks like Oliver Glasner is going up for the next coach. For some reason he's at AC Milan. I don't know what happened there. I knew he was supposed to leave Crystal Palace by the end of the season, so it looks like AC Milan. I'm pretty sure they were in talks to sign him as well, so that is pretty cool. And Ekitike did win the Player of the Month. We'll get into the table in a second to see where Man United are. But yeah, so Ekitike with the Player of the Month. Bergvall, baller by the way, he's a good player. Young Player of the Month. Iraola again. Should we be surprised? Looks like Xabi Alonso was the runner-up here, but we'll see the awards. Obviously, it's just been Arteta and Iraola because they've been top of the table. So team of the week here, Looks like a lot of Bournemouth players, so maybe Bournemouth have turned it around. Chelsea as well. Obviously, Ekitike is actually not here, which is odd. Interesting. But I guess it's just this week, so someone's performed better than him. Looks like he moved to Liverpool. We'll see what's going on with that because I guess Liverpool made some signings. But yeah, so Liverpool 58 points, 55 Arsenal, so they did take them over, but they did lose. It looks like Arsenal lost a few games there. We can see what games they actually ended up losing. They lost to Leeds. Wow, they lost to Leeds. Liverpool twice, so that kind of makes sense. They lost 4-1 to them twice, so looks like Mo Salah is the top goal scorer now, which is pretty interesting there. I'm trying to see the transfers, but I guess we have to like see the transfer window. There's probably a way to view that, so I'll go ahead and check that in a minute. But yeah, so Liverpool top of the league. Man United, oh wow, Man United are 11th. It looks like they hired a new manager already. Kieran McKenna, who is this? I'm actually not sure who this is, but looks like he's pretty good. So that is your new Man United coach. Average season against Spurs. Again, with the average season, I don't think any other managers have been sacked yet. So yeah, Leeds, Daniel Farke looks like he's been carrying this team on his back, which is pretty crazy. And then Mo Salah, obviously with the most goals for Liverpool, still playing because apparently he's staying at the club. A lot of things have been going on with him for him to stay at the club. So he does like the manager, doesn't like Arne Slot, as we all know that. But it looks like he had a great bonding with the coach. So let's see how many assists he has. 34 goals, 14 assists. Wow, that's crazy. Yeah, but let's see. I'm gonna go and see the transfers. What's going on with the transfer? If we can see. So here's the transfers. So it looks like Bokazai. No, I had no idea how to say that. But he got to move to Bournemouth from Chicago FC, Chicago Fires, I think that's what it's called. And then some other players here went to Leeds. So Axel Zuman, I don't know how to say the last name, but Axel, he got to move to Leeds. He's a first team player now. But yeah, let's see if there are any other moves. Newcastle signed Mayulu. That is interesting. So Eddie Howe has got a new striker winger kind of thing. And then Banks as well from Augsburg FC. And then Brighton to Chelsea. This guy was the top goal scorer, or one of the top goal scorer at one point for Brighton with 16 goals and 2 assists. So yeah, doesn't look like there's been that many more moves that were crazy in the league here, but we can kind of see what's going on in that month. There's not been too many other moves here. So Brentford. It looks like Brentford sacked. Are they in the Premier League? They are in the Premier League. They might be sacking their coach, so they're not doing great. They signed this guy, who's a midfielder, but those are probably most of the important signings. Pedro Porro went to Monaco from Spurs, so he's now at Monaco. Looks like De Zerbi didn't like him. Axel Disasi left Chelsea as well. Any more players that have left the Premier League or joined the Premier League? Solomon, looks like Spurs did a clear out of their team. So he went to, I think I don't know what club that is. Do I not have ball knowledge? Lazio. He went to Lazio. But other than that, some Bobby Thomas, some people signed to Leeds. Well, this guy went to Man United. I've heard good things about him, but looks like he's kind of an academy player-ish. Thomas Lamar to Leeds as well. But this was just in January. Let's see what happened in December here. Looks like nothing crazy. I'm pretty sure the window is closed, but it looks like Leeds have had the most active transfer window there. So that's pretty eventful. Looks like Leeds are looking to strengthen their team. So Bournemouth also down here, they signed Solanke, but it's not that type of Solanke. So they loaned him out. They didn't sign him. They loaned him out. But that's about it for the transfers. As we can see, let's go into the Premier League and see who's top of the league right now. Liverpool are still top of the league with 3 more points, but it looks like Leeds are 6th with all those signings, so it is kind of interesting. Spurs did a clear out, so there's a lot less players here. And De Zerbi is still the coach of the team. But Liverpool looks like they're doing pretty good. So it is February. All the signings have happened. I don't think Liverpool signed anyone crazy here. I'm pretty sure this is just the same team. I guess they didn't sign anyone in January. But let's go to the end of the season and see what's happening there in May and see who wins the Premier League and maybe even the Champions League if we have time to look at that. So we are at the end of the Premier League season, and already it looks like Odegaard won Player of the Year, which is kind of interesting. I don't know if I want to go into his stats yet, just to see who won the Premier League. Looks like he got 3 goals and 28 assists, which is a lot of assists. So maybe that's why he did end up winning Premier League Player of the Year. Everton's Tom Roth wins the Young Player of the Year, and then Odegaard is also Premier League Team of the Year. So let's see the Team of the Year here: Haaland, Saka, Odegaard, Van Dijk, Gakpo, Vardio, Allison, Tim Roth, or was it something Roth, Lennon, Gakpo, Holland, Uche on the top right. It looks like these are their overall stats. So Odegaard had the highest rating over the course of the season, followed by Allison, or was it Saka? Followed by Saka, Allison, and then Holland. Obviously, we're going to look into the awards in a second here, but that is your Premier League Team of the Year. Southampton manager wins Premier League Manager of the Year, Juric. Interesting. So, yeah, it looks like they did pretty good. Footballer of the Year, wow, Odegaard, oh my goodness. And Salah wins the top goal scorer, 25 goals in the season, in the league at least. And then Bukayo Saka finishes second, and then Matheus Tel third. So, 25 goals, 24 assists, and then 21 goals. So it looks like he's been dominating that season of goals. It's kind of crazy. 18 assists and 44 goals. Wow, that's really good. Don't know why I'm applying to jobs here, but oh my god, what's going on? So it looks like Liverpool have won the league just by about 6 points. Now, Man United, which I'm very curious about for some reason, are 10th with their new coach, so it looks like nothing really changed. But Arsenal are in second, Man City 3rd, Chelsea 4th, Aston Villa 5th, Everton 6th, Southampton 7th, which is really good. They could have finished up to 5th. Leeds, they dropped out of Europe, which is interesting because considering the amount of signings they made. Spurs are 13th. Wow, that's interesting as well. These clubs are relegated, so Brighton are obviously gone. Birmingham gone. Ipswich gone. But Fulham survived, and Bournemouth survived. That's actually really impressive. So yeah, so it looks like those are some of these stats there. Here are some of the recent games if you do want to look at it. The Wolves beat Man United 4-2. Salah, obviously top goal scorer. Haaland, 19. Nick Wolterman with 16. Bruno 16. I want to see Bruno's assist record if he did break it or something crazy like that. 22 assists. I think that's the most on that I can see. 22 is a lot. Let's see who has won like the Premier League Manager Award. So Marco Rose won this month because he did save Bournemouth at one point their relegation. So January, looks like December, Iraola dominated it. Unai Emery obviously won March, and then Marco Rose to finish it off. Looks like it was really just Liverpool and Arsenal in that kind of thing going on. This team of the week is Bruno Fernandes, Turkey, Foden, Kulusevski, Saliba, and White. Looks like White is going to leave Arsenal apparently, so that is interesting as well. Manager of the month, Marco Rose. Obviously, player of the month, Omar Marmoush. And then as you can see the rest of the player of the month. So I think we stopped from Toby Collier. Hugo Ekitike. Oh, we stopped on Ekitike, sorry. So Isaac won the month after. Damian Downs won in Southampton. Omar Marmoush won that one. And then Bournemouth, it looks like young player Bergvall. Lucas William Barnett. If you guys know who this is, this guy's a baller. Looks like he moved to Spurs in January. So, yeah. Damian Downs, striker. Alex Toth, Bournemouth, Hungarian striker. Maybe the next Puskas. Who knows? Let me know in the comments if you guys think this is how this season is going to play out, with Liverpool winning the league, which is certainly possible, and then Arsenal finishing second. We actually could happen. 86 points. Anything can happen in that season. So Rasmus Højlund, interesting. Here's kind of a look at the table again. But yeah, looks like your Premier League champions are Liverpool. Let's see what's going on with Champions League. They must have gone far in the Champions League. Guess they didn't. So Champions League. Ooh, Arsenal versus PSG again. Interesting. I'm gonna sim to that and see what happens. Let's see the previous fixture. So they beat Bayern. Man City lost to PSG. Man City actually, wow, they beat PSG 3-1 and then they lost 2 goals. So Arsenal obviously did dominate this league. 8 Aggregate 8 goals, insane. Oh, that's penalties. Well, no, I don't even know. Man City, yeah. So it looks like Man City and Arsenal basically dominated. PSG went out to, or Liverpool went out to PSG. That's what I was looking for in the round of 16, which is pretty crazy. Let's see what happens. It looks like Arsenal beat PSG 3-1. So it looks like Arsenal have won their first Champions League. Saka, Saliba, and Ben White with some goals. Wow. Kvaratskhelia. Oh, dang. So we have a European winner in England as well. So Arsenal wins the Champions League. That's kind of crazy. Havertz obviously started at the 9. Let's see how many goals he had. Doesn't think Mooney. Oh, new manager? That might be a new manager. 16 goals, 2 assists. Not bad. Oh, actually Mooney's a player. Yeah, Mikel Arteta. So yeah. So if you guys did enjoy, make sure to like, subscribe to the channel if you want more videos like this. This one did take a long time to make. So thank you guys for watching. That's gonna be it for me. Let me know in the comments who you think is gonna win the Premier League next season. But that's gonna be it for me, guys. Peace.